Juliana back at Universal Studios Hollywood. We're gonna see the Dark Arts at Hogwarts Castle show. Gonna check out some Death Eaters. Come with me!
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for watching. I came back to Universal Studios Hollywood specifically to watch the Dark Arts at Hogwarts Castle light show and to meet the Death Eaters. I'll be giving a full recap of that experience later in the video, but first, since we got to the park early, let's take a walk around the lot. Continued construction going on surrounding the upcoming Fast and Furious roller coaster, rumored to come out in 2025. I'm a huge fan of Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure at Universal Studios Orlando. It'll be hard to top that, but just the thought of having a coaster here at Universal Studios Hollywood is super exciting to me. What about you? Does a new coaster coming to Universal Studios Hollywood excite you? Do you not care? Would you rather see a different type of attraction? Let me know your thoughts. So standard procedure for me when I'm heading down on the escalators all the way to the bottom is checking out the wait times for rides. So here we go. Fun fact, while headed down to the lower lot, you can see Warner Brothers Studios. And behind Warner Brothers Studios, you can see the ABC building, which is located on the Walt Disney Studios lot. So next to Universal Studios, you have Warner Brothers Studios and you have Walt Disney Studios. It's a very small town. I am so excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. If you guys have been following me, you probably know this. Super excited. Are you guys excited? So we're back at the upper lot. Had to stop and get a quick snack. Krusty's popcorn because we're going on the studio tour. If you know me, you know one of my favorite attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood is the studio tour. Fun fact about the studio tour, you never know what type of tour you're gonna get. It's different every time. If you go on a weekend, it's different than if you go on a weekday. If you go on a weekday, it's different than if you go on a weeknight. Certain things are closed off due to filming schedules, so it's just kind of interesting. You never know what you're gonna get. Also, you have a different experience depending on what seat you sit on the tram. This particular experience, I got to use my Platinum Pass and I went right to the front and there was an open space on the very first car and there was an open space on the right hand side. So this is where I'm sitting right now, in the very, very front car on the right hand side. Although I loved being up close and personal with our tour guide who also sat 2 seats in front of me on the tram, I would normally recommend to sit in one of the middle cars, the very right seat or the very left seat if you have the opportunity to choose. Each side has its benefits. So for example, the right hand side of the tram gives you that first-hand viewing experience for Jaws, like up close and personal with Bruce, as well as up close and personal with Norman Bates from the Bates Motel. However, if you sit on the left side, you get that first-hand up close. However, if you sit on the left-hand side, you'll get that up close experience for the storm, the thunder, lightning, rain storm, which is really cool to be on the left-hand side for that.
This next section of our Metro set's coming up in your left-hand side.
When you pass through where Back to the Future was filmed, you get a better view if you're sitting on the left-hand side. There are countless benefits to sitting on each of the sides. It just depends on what type of day it is for which tour, and what you're gonna get on that tour. I guess I would normally prefer the right-hand side, but since I just did the right hand today, I might do left hand next time. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you have a side preference on the tram? There's something about the sets at Universal that just gets me every time. Maybe it's the Midwestern girl in me. I moved to LA over 20 years ago, and I still get excited when I see buildings used in movies and TV shows that I've seen. I just think it's super cool and exciting, and I love it every time I'm back. Speaking of things I love, oh my god, Oppenheimer. I've been dying to see this movie since I heard about it, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? I'm so excited for Oppenheimer. You have no idea. I know it's going to be really big. The storyline, the fact that there's no CGI, Christopher Nolan, the cast. I am just so stoked for this. I'm going to see it at least twice. I'm going to see it standard screen the first time. My husband's working at Comic-Con. When he comes back, I'm going to see it with him in IMAX, and I'm just so stoked. What about y'all? Y'all excited for it?
We've also asked a police diver named George to be out here in the water to make sure we're all staying safe for today. Oh, George, you dancing? Okay. Well, let's all remain seated because we are going to pull forward here behind this dock. The one with all the bright red barrels on it.
This is one of the benefits to sitting on the right-hand side of the tram. Whoa! It's really kind of intense and scary in person, I'm not gonna lie.
Notice that once you're inside the neighborhood, you can look in most every direction. You know what? There's family-owned business just around the corner from here. I think we should visit the Bates Motel.
Fun fact, or maybe not so fun fact, Norman Bates doesn't always come out when I'm on the tram. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. I feel like usually he's there and he comes out. I don't know if there's a sequence to it or a routine to it. If anyone knows the answer, let me know. This was a Thursday night at about 7 p.m., which I've been there on a nighttime before when he came out. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. So I'm on the right side, but if you sat on the left side, you would have gotten like the better view of the actual 747, which I think is just an incredible sight to see. To see that up close and personal, how large that plane is. And speaking of planes, one of my favorite movies was Sully. I love Sully, but I just love this movie as well. And I had just watched it 2 days before this twice, my mom and my sister, and I just thought it was really funny that they happened to film that at Universal. I had no idea. My favorite walkway. It's in between Simpsons Land and Wizarding World of Harry Potter. This is so beautiful. Every time I walk through it, I just love it. I can't stop talking about it.
We're about to see the dark arts at Hogwarts Castle and Dot Theaters.
This is around 8 p.m. I had asked a crew member earlier in the day what time Death Eaters come out. They said they come out at 8 p.m. and stay until about 10 p.m. So I went to Wizarding World of Harry Potter to kind of hang out and see what I could see. I knew there was kind of like a big to-do about it, so I was looking for areas where crowded people were. And at least this night, the first performance they did was outside of Three Broomsticks. So this is right after they originally started. They stood on the little boxes and did this little choreographed thing, and then they all dispersed and went to the crowd, and it was really fun and I'd say a little scary. Definitely really scary. I mean, I think my 4.5-year-old boys would have been scared by the Death Eaters. But from my point of view, it was just really fun and cute and sweet. And they were like dueling with the kids there, as well as adults. It was really fun. So they continue to do the little shows throughout the night between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So if you miss the first little pizzazz, you'll get another chance to see it. I would say just ask a crew member and they can kind of guide you for how it's going to go that night. So at this point, the first viewing for the Dark Arts at Hogwarts light show was 9:10 p.m. So I actually was delayed because I went into Three Broomsticks to get a side of fries, and it took a little longer than I thought it was going to take, kind of rushing back to make sure I had a good standing point, and just kind of figured I wasn't going to have a good one because I was late. But they ushered me and a bunch of other folks. They kept on ushering us forward. They move forward. So I was like right up at the castle, and there was a lot of people there, and we still had like front row viewing basically. So I would say from my experience, I was there about 10 minutes before the show started, and the great crew members were able to just usher us forward, and we got a great viewing spot. So that was great to know that we didn't have obstructive views, and it was very like spacious. I wasn't like cramped in between people or anything like that. It was so beautiful. I can't wait to see it again. It's running all summer through August 13th. As always, thank you again for watching. It means a lot to me, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.